can I mention one thing kind of as an aside note?
Sure.
The best couple to ever come out of the NFL was Vince Wilfork and his wife.
Yeah, and they have a son who's a linebacker, because when you have two hosses who mate, they create a big, strong hoss.
Yeah.
And he's not like a big Vince type of hoss. He's like a solid 250-pound linebacker. Like,
have you ever seen Vince Wilfork cook barbecue? It's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Bull,
we were just discussing this the other day.
Well, no. Bull, I don't know how you're doing these segues so well without even knowing it. But talking about hosses, this is the reason why you're
and
here.
Especially Vince Wilfork in his overalls cooking barbecue. Now would be a great time to talk about the biggest nasty bracket.
I feel like that wasn't on purpose, but I'm really glad that you got us here. So the biggest nasty bracket is live. It's been live for about a day and a half. We have some votes. But Bull, since you are our honorable big nasty, I want to go through this bracket, and I want to go through each matchup, and I want to hear your and our takes on it, and maybe we can talk about the numbers. If we want.
I have all the numbers saved, so.
Okay. If we want, maybe we reveal the winner and push them through tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's just show the matchup to Bull. We'll get his take, our quick thought, and then I'll reveal the winner.
Bull has them. So, Bull, first one, we're looking at AKIEM HICKS from the Bears and Joel Bitonio from the Browns. What do you think?
So, before we start this, how do you vote? Because I didn't know.
Instagram.
It's on Instagram.
We'll physically weigh in your live vote.
Yeah.
Of the podcast.
So why don't we get we'll get Bull's take on it, and then Jake, you can give the number, and then we'll push whoever through has the higher number, except for a few that we have to get our hands a little messy with.
It's percentage. It's percentage, but if it's close, because there are a few that are tied or close to tie, so we'll count Bulls as an extra, from a hoss to a hoss.
Yeah. So Bull, AKIEM HICKS, Joel Bitonio, what do you think about that hoss matchup?
Okay. So AKIEM HICKS is a really big nasty, right?
Yeah.
He's honestly one of the best ones I've seen on here. But when you're talking about big nasties, there's a couple of cities you got to make sure you hit up and you show respect to. This is one of the few times you can show Cleveland some respect. Anybody from Cleveland is going to be a nasty, and Joel's a pretty big one.
Bull, I couldn't agree more, and this is why I have you here. This is why we do it. And I feel like a lot of the people responding to this poll and voting didn't understand what a big nasty was. I feel like a lot of people are looking at the height and the weight and voting for the physically bigger guy. But a big nasty is the guy, doesn't matter how – I mean, yeah, he's going to be big, but there's so much more into it. You don't want to line up against this guy. You think he smells bad? He's gross? You think he's going to beat you up after the game? He might be ugly. I don't know, but
another part about
I would like to mention that with that beard, you resembled Joel Bitonio quite a bit.
Do I?
It is a little bit.
Oh, I do. That's so
we should
fun.
cut this up and act like we got Joel Bitonio on the podcast.
So, Jake, how is the first matchup shaking out right now?
So, the numbers on this kind of staggering, with AKIEM HICKS at a 68% vote over the 32% of Joel Bitonio.
Yeah, and I honestly think that that's just because AKIEM HICKS weighs 32 more pounds.
That's true. That's how many people have voted so far?
20.
Okay.
Now, how long are we going to leave this open till? Can we leave it open till the next podcast?
We're pushing this first round through. After this,
right?
Yeah, we're going to know what round 2 looks like at the end of this podcast.
Oh, sick.
But I think that one, despite everything you said, Bull, I think that one we kind of have to stay true to the votes on.
Yeah.
I feel like we should do that with everybody because
you'll see.
Okay. I don't know any of the votes right now, so.
Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah,
so
we are a pro-collusion, pro-shadow government podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just how you get
votes
things
don't really matter. I like that.
But so
right.
that
matchup
one,
number 2.
Well, are we agreeing that AKIEM HICKS is getting pushed through?
I think we just did.
All right, cool. So, sorry, Joel, you had my vote, but Not
Yeah,
the
mine
fan.
too. Albeit, I'm going with whatever the most popular one is, but my vote for that would be Joel.
Man of
So
the people.
you just completely lied there.
No. I mean, no. I'm saying I will have no argument with whoever gets picked out of the popular vote. But if I'm casting my vote is for Joel.
I have no argument, but my vote's for
It's
the other guy, which in
no,
turn
what I'm
is an
saying
argument.
is I don't care.
it's a bullmocracy, not a bulltatorship.
Yeah.
Either way, matchup 2, we have big, stinky Chris Jones versus Brandon Brooks, which is a heck of a matchup in my opinion. Bull, what do you think about it?
Okay, so this is a good insight, especially if you ever see a big nasty that has hair compared to a big nasty that does not. 2 key things. 1, the big nasty with hair is going to look more disgusting, but the big nasty with no hair is going to be more disgusting. When you have less hair, you sweat a lot more, and sweat equals stink, stink equals nasty, big nasty. Chris Jones.
Chris Jones is your pick.
That was some Sherlock Holmes type shit right there.
It was. I can't say it enough, Bull. I'm so glad we have you here.
And Bull, Chris Jones is actually winning the poll, it looks like, 57 to 43.
Really?
Jake, are those the accurate numbers?
Yeah, so I have 55 to 45. So you must be looking at a more updated list also.
Ooh, Austin, you might have to be our numbers guy.
I'm straight up on the Instagram right now.
Ah.
All right. So you're telling what were the numbers? Chris Jones was what?
Chris Jones is at 57%. Brandon Brooks is at 43.
Sorry, Mr. Brooks. Chris Jones has won round 1.
And that sucks. Brandon Brooks is one of my favorite guards in the league.
Yeah. Round 3 is a throwaway round. Jags don't really have any big nasties to speak of. Jawan Taylor versus Derek Brown. I don't even know if we need to talk about this one. I think it's Derek Brown.
Yeah.
Derek Brown by a landslide.
Yeah.
He's got
What's the percentage just for the heck of it?
80%.
Well,
I don't
plus,
know who gave Jawan the vote. Was it you, H-Dog? You
No.
throw him a sympathy vote?
No.
So here's a quick side note with geography. There's a certain cutoff when you're looking at the United States that if you're below that cutoff, if you're in Miami or Jacksonville, or in the lower parts of Texas or California, you don't sweat nearly as much as if you're like in the Carolinas. I don't know why, but it's like your body acclimates to that kind of heat more. It's very strange. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not a scientist, but that's how it works.
Clearly.
That's why it's pro football focus and not pro football focus. So we're cool with it.
Yeah.
I imagine Derek Brown is the winner.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this next matchup, Bull, your vote might determine this because it's at 50-50 right now.
So, Bull, matchup number 4 in the first round, we have from the Seahawks, Chance Warmack, and from the Vikings, Michael Pierce.
Yep. I already know my vote, but I will say before that.
This one's obvious.
Yeah. Well, Chance Warmack is a very awesome name, but Michael Pierce is much sweatier.
And I think Chance Warmack is one of the more premier big nasties. When you're looking at a prototype big nasty, him and another guy on this list, I immediately think of. But this matchup right here, it's kind of indisputable.
Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, I would say Michael Pierce is a bigger big nasty.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even in the picture, you can see the two-tone sweat on his jersey, and that is a dark purple jersey.
Yeah.
If you're sweating through dark colors, you're putting out some fucking liquid.
You guys should follow Michael Pierce's Twitter. It's pretty spicy.
Now,
We'll
this
have to look into it.
list has him weighing in at 345 pounds, but on Madden, they have him at 360 pounds.
Wow.
And I've heard that he is closer to 360 pounds.
Damn.
6 foot tall, that's pretty crazy.
Michael Pierce, congratulations. Welcome to round 2. In our 5th matchup, Bull, we have from the Saints tackle Ryan Ramczyk versus newly drafted to the Tennessee Titans, Isaiah Wilson, who I believe is a guard.
So, real quick side note, I noticed that so far in every matchup, I've been heavier than one of the two guys that we've been both.
Why are we happy?
The bigger nasty is definitely Isaiah Wilson because Ryan Ramczyk, even with his pads off, looks like an athlete. Isaiah Wilson looks like a mass that can move mass. That's that's a big nasty, especially compared to Ryan RAMCZYK is just looks like an athlete. And you can't have muscle. You can't look like you have muscles if you're a big nasty.
Okay. I think Ryan Ramczyk's more on the pudgy side, but I also do agree that it's Isaiah Wilson here.
Yeah, I gave Wilson the vote. You know,
Have you ever
As
seen
did I.
him without a shirt on?
Yeah.
That's why.
What are the numbers looking like, Austin?
RAMCZYK is losing 46%. Wilson's up 54%.
All right. Isaiah Wilson, welcome to round 2.
Big nast.
So this one might be a spot of contention, in my opinion.
This was tough for me.
Number 6,
Really?
we have Kenny Clark from the Packers versus A'Shawn Robinson, who is now on the Rams. Bull, I want to get your take first.
Okay. Okay. Right off the bat, it's going back to it's. I don't know now that I'm thinking about it. Oh man. Okay. So Kenny Clark is a sweaty guy. Always been a sweaty guy. He seems like he's one of those big nasties that can just sit in a room temperature area and just sweat. But
Seems like your big nasty rating has a lot to do with sweat.
well, sweat
He
involves-
knows it firsthand.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, I can sit up and start sweating. It's terrible. And so I know what these guys are going through. I'm probably still going to go with Kenny Clark purely because I feel like he's a guy who he could take a shower, get dressed, and in the process of him getting dressed, get tired and sweat again.
Okay. So, Austin, I want to know the numbers on this one next.
So Clark is losing. He's 43%. Robinson is up 57%. And I personally went with Robinson. I think he's the bigger, and I think he's just a nastier guy. He just looks nasty. He's always looked like he's like 40 years old, even when he was 20.
I couldn't agree more. I thought Kenny Clark was going to be up because I think the last time I looked at it, Kenny Clark was winning. Kenny Clark was a tough pick to even put on the list because he's just – I think Kenny Clark's a really good football player. I don't know if he's a big nasty.
Yeah, the Packers don't really have – they have more athletic linemen. They don't really have a big –
There were a few teams here who really didn't have any big, gross, yucky guys. And Kenny Clark was hard to put on there because he's not nasty.
I weigh more than both of these guys. That's crazy.
But either way.
He could be in the NFL.
I know.
Round 6, A'Shawn Robinson, you're pushed through. Round 7, we have on the Dolphins, Ereck Flowers versus on the Giants, Dalvin Tomlinson.
I went with Tomlinson on this one.
Okay.
Just seeing that picture and just that sofa of a gut is intimidating in itself, but also just the effort being put out. So that's a lot of stuff going on there.
He does look pretty wily for a big fat hoss.
Yeah, so I mean, once he makes it down the field, takes his pads off, I wouldn't want to, sit in the car with him,
Yeah.
Because I would have to have all the windows down.
This is an interesting one for me because Ereck Flowers, I think, is a big nasty, but I don't think he's a good football player. So this is a good example of what a big nasty is. Like, again, you don't have to be good at the game to be a big nasty. This one right here, though, I would probably choose Dalvin.
Yeah, this one I just I went with the guy who he looks bigger and looks nastier. I went with Ereck Flowers on this one, but I think Dalvin Tomlinson, I think he's, definitely a better football player, and I think he's a lot more tenacious. And, maybe he does deserve to win, but this one was kind of even.
So before we get to the numbers, what do you think?
Okay, so this is 2 different types of big nasty bodies. Tomlinson's body is going to look more like a bowling ball than anything, and Ereck Flowers is a very tall big nasty. So you really got to think which one repulses you more. Personally, I think the taller big nasty repulses me more, purely because I'm 11.
Yeah. No, that is
So
interesting.
Flowers.
So,
What are
Bull,
the
if you're
numbers?
getting down in a 3-point stance, who are you more intimidated by in the trenches? Lining up across from you.
I would be I would be more intimidated by Ereck Flowers, but I'd rather go up against Ereck Flowers because it'd be easier for me to get my helmet under his chin
Interesting.
or get my helmet in his knee, whichever one I'd have to do. Well, probably the latter because he's a big fucking nasty.
I don't know if we went over this or not, but Bull was a big cheater when he played football.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the quarterback never got touched, so that's that.
He got the gerb
Weren't
down.
following the rules. But Austin,
Yeah, it looks
what are
like
the
we're
numbers?
even between the four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ereck Flowers is actually winning this one, and he is winning 65% to Dalvin's 35%.
I thought that'd be
Well,
closer.
I thought it
The
would be
proof is
closer
in
too,
the yogurt.
but I have no problem forcing this one through as it lies.
Yeah.
So, Ereck Flowers, I don't like that you're advancing in a tournament, but welcome to round 2.
This next one should
Also, this is another one that I think is kind of a gimme. DJ Reader versus Ndamukong Suh. Do we even need to talk about this one?
I think you're one ahead, Hunter.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
No, I'm at DJ Reader and Ndamukong Suh as well.
Oh, the next one on the Instagram.
Is 8 is Jarrell Casey.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at the Google Doc.
So am I.
Sorry.
We can go there.
I will say, I bet you my pick is different than your guys's because I think you guys picked DJ Reader, right?
No, this one I went with Ndamukong Suh. I just
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
when
so
I
did
think of Suh, I think big nasty. You have to be nasty, not in just the sense of hygiene, but in just dirty, tenacious, tough football plays. And I've seen Suh stomp on people's nuts.
Yep.
I've seen him poke people in the eyes.
Yeah.
I've seen him just grab people and just twist them around. And
Yeah.
he's always hitting the quarterback after the play. I think he's definitely the more intimidating and nasty hoss in the trenches.
And just his trash talk. Like, he literally verbally bullies everybody.
Yeah.
Now, what are the numbers on that one?
Ooh, Suh is he's pulling ahead pretty good, 81% to 19.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a question. Sue's going
Well,
through.
He might be a favorite to win, to be honest with you. Ndamukong Suh's gonna be
Possibly. This is a fun one. JURRELL Casey versus Linval Joseph. I think we also may know who has this one, but Bull, what do you think about this?
I think, well, right off the bat, I'm going to let you know, it's going to be Linval Joseph for me. This goes back to I like JURRELL Casey a lot, and I think he's too athletic to be in a big nasty. He looks too athletic.
Okay.
In comparison to Linval Joseph, who just looks like so he looks a lot like Tomlinson. They're both like big bowling balls.
Linval Joseph just looks like a prototypical nose tackle in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ginormous gut, big shoulders.
Like a Casey Hampton type.
So before we get to the numbers on this one, are we all pretty much in agreement with us that it's Linval Joseph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin, what are the numbers?
And the Broncos were another team that didn't have any big nasties. JURRELL Casey, but JURRELL Casey is a big nasty. He's got that gut on him. But the numbers are looking, Joseph's got the 75%, Casey's got 25.
Linval Joseph it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bull, Quinton Nelson versus Grady Jarrett.
So, okay, I'm going to go with Grady Jarrett. Here's why. Because 330 looks a lot better at 6'5" than 305 looks at 6 foot. And I just don't think Quinton Nelson sweats. I mean, every game I've seen him, I've never seen him sweat.
Watch a sound effect with Quinton Nelson.
Okay, I'll have to. But, yeah, I've never seen him sweat.
Watch any tape on Quinton Nelson.
I have all the time.
You have all the time, and you don't think Quinton Nelson is a big nasty.
Constantly watching Nelson film, dude.
Listen, Quinton Nelson is one of my favorite offensive linemen in the league, but I've never seen him sweat. Like, really,
One
beat
of?
down forehead sweat.
Maybe the TV isn't high enough resolution.
That's true. I
Because
do watch.
I can see his sweat in the still frame that we have for him.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, Grady Jarrett's not even
Listening.
sweaty. They definitely just oiled up his arms in that picture.
where they spritzed him down with like a Windex bottle.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
sweat though. I do watch on a black and white TV, 12 inch. So
Yeah, that's it.
that could
So
be-
for this one, I feel like it might be a little divisive. Jake, what do you think about this one?
I picked Quinton Nelson. I feel like face paint adds to just like your grit because you want to put shit on your fucking face. He got a dope ass visor on, and he just looks like a dude that halftime he just rolls in the locker room and just opens up a Coors Light and just slams a few beers down. Like he just looks like that kind of dude.
Absolutely.
So, and I mean, like just with being 6 foot, that's as tall as me, and you're 305. Like I've seen bigger, and you just don't look nasty in that picture. Like this picture, he's telling me like he's trying too much, and the big nasties don't give a fuck.
Nasty's
Yeah.
don't care about the
Yeah.
I'd be
picture.
terrified to line up across from Grady Jarrett though.
Bull, I don't think you've watched enough Quentin Nelson tape. He would.
I mean,
Quentin
yeah.
Nelson would probably pick you up over his head and pancake you.
So okay, funny story about that.
It happened.
Back when I played at Alfred for that season, I was kind of surprised with how terrible most of the team was around me.
Well, yeah, you were at Alfred.
Yeah, well, I expected, it's going to be college, it's going to be a higher level. There's a lot of dudes there that were just not very good. There were a lot that were. But the best player I ever played against was actually, he played for Alfred, and it was one day in practice. He was a senior. The reason why he was not playing Division I was because he was legally blind. So I got to block this guy. Guess what happened? Play one comes up. I snap the ball. I give it everything I got, and he lifts me up like I'm a baby, and he walks me back into the quarterback. I was like, okay, let's try. Maybe I didn't go hard enough. Let's try it again. Second play, lifts me up again. And by that time, I was like, yeah, the only way I'd be able to stop this guy is if I blow his knee out. So I understand I'm nowhere near a D1 talent, and I now know what that feels like. And boy, that ruined my pride a little bit.
See, honestly, with how much tragic stories were in this year's draft, I'm surprised they didn't call him up and they're like, "Whoa, you're blind?" And
Yeah.
like
Hop
this
on in.
guy, he's having the best day once he figured out that he was drafted by the Jets.
Austin,
But
who
only if he
who
could
was it?
see.
Whose dad got or whose brother drowned or dad drowned and then their brother was struck by lightning like 2 years later or something?
I don't remember, but I remember just seeing that story and texting you. Like
It's awful.
they were really reaching on some of these. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was ones like, and there's the whole family, and they're all very happy. But who you don't see
Is their
is his
dad who was in a
grandfather.
tragic meat grinding accident 5
Yeah,
years ago,
it's like,
and they didn't know that they ate him in hamburgers.
yeah. NFL
But-
was just really going for some tragedy porn, trying to get the viewership up or something. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on there.
Either way,
What-
Austin, what are the
what
numbers?
happened to his dad? You'll never believe this.
This one, I'm definitely going Quentin Nelson, dude. He's just big,
Yeah.
country strong, nasty hoss in the trenches, handlebar mustache, paint on his face.
I know you are, but what are the numbers?
The numbers are 68% Nelson, 32% Jared.
All right. Sorry, Bull. Your horsepower has a lot, but it's not
That's
taking Quentin Nelson down. That's ridiculous.
That's fine.
He's a generational talent at the guard position.
Oh, I think he's one of the best offensive linemen in the league.
I think
by
he's
far.
the best offensive lineman in the league.
Eh,
Who's better?
David DeCastro's pretty good. Just saying.
David DeCastro's not better than Quentin Nelson.
We'll see.
Mekhi Becton versus Marcus Cannon. It's Mekhi Becton. We don't have to talk about this.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would like to mention that Mekhi Becton's mom cooks soul food for a living.
Yes.
So I just imagine all the greasy, delicious foods that he's eating that are just coming out of his pores in the trenches, and he probably smells awful. And you just don't want to go up against that.
And
You got those grits shits, dude.
He's got the grit shits for sure.
so just the fact that Mekhi, and I know I've been preaching all show that it's not about height and weight, but in this one in particular, there's an inch difference, but there's almost 30-pound difference.
Yeah.
It's Mekhi Becton.
And Becton is winning 77% to 23.
Yeah. So it's Mekhi. I might skip ahead.
Skip ahead. Why not? Keep
Really?
going?
I'm gonna save 12 for last.
I thought that
Okay.
one would be one of the
That's
easier.
fair.
Oh, I bet you do, Paul.
Yeah, that was
So-
one of the hardest ones for me. I sat and
Really?
I kept having to press back on the Instagram story. just
Number
thinking about it. I'm like,
13,
fuck.
Morgan Moses versus Laremy Tunsil. Let's hear the numbers on it, Austin.
Tunsil is up big, 82% to 18.
Wow.
I think the pick helps
Yeah, no.
because
So for our viewers, we used the picture of Laremy Tunsil using the gas mask bong when he got drafted. People were probably picking that one for the lulz. You can't do anything about that.
That's the thing. Okay, so being part of a big nasty, you can't you shouldn't have at least a decent reputation of being a chill dude to be with. And it seems like, I don't know, to me, when I think of Laremy Tunsil, I think of a fucking chill ass dude that's gonna.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna go the other way with that, and I was gonna be like, "Bull, Laremy Tunsil seems like he's chilling pretty hard.
Yeah, dude,
He has smoke where his eyes should be."
I would want to hang out with Laremy Tunsil. That's why I would go with Morgan Moses.
Austin, I know you have feelings about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Laremy Tunsil guy. I really don't think he's that tough. I don't think he's that nasty. And Morgan Moses is 100% just a big, disgusting hoss.
I feel like most of his weight is water weight, though.
No, a lot of it's around his muffin top area.
Yeah.
You can see.
yeah, I mean he has this wiggle shape going on.
He's got
Like
the
there's a
hour,
lot of rolls under the rolls under the rolls.
and you can see in his lower body, he's got a lot of horsepower in his cheek area. So
This one in particular, I just don't think Laremy Tunsil fits the description enough to move on.
Yeah, no, I don't even know why he's in here, to be honest with you.
I think the picture swayed votes. So
I do too.
yeah,
I think it swayed me in the opposite direction more than anything.
Huh.
So,
looks like we're doing a veto.
I will
of the
say,
peoples.
Morgan Moses, his body type is reminiscent of a guy who got super fat before he got super strong. Just as a
Good method.
see that?
So are we all in agreement that we're vetoing Morgan Moses through?
I mean,
whoever the people voted.
yeah, I don't want to disrespect the fans, if it's that big of a landslide, but
I don't think Tunsil is mean or tough enough.
I mean, he was mean enough to negotiate the biggest contract in the league by himself without an agent.
Here's
Austin,
the thing.
I think we both agree that a big nasty isn't necessarily going to have the capacity to get himself a good contract.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to, play devil's advocate here.
Hunter, I thought it was to the people, buddy.
Yeah.
We said at the beginning of this that we're going to have discussions and possibly push people through. Sometimes the fans don't know what's good for them.
See, yeah, I think the fans have to respect the power.
Yeah.
They can't get everything they want.
You can't let, who said it? Bob McNair? You can't let the inmates run the prison ball.
That's, I guess. I would love to see you in a role like how Roger Goodell is now. I'd like to see you in that role someday.
Me?
Yeah,
as the commissioner of the NFL. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
I would like that too.
Kind of like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope nobody watching this is looking at my application for that job, because several years as a fantasy football commissioner, I orchestrated quite a shadow government, puppeteering many things. One time I actually spent all of the winning prize money because I was pretty confident I was going to win, but I didn't. So I ended up having to pay the winner back like $300 like 5 months after the fact.
See, I think that would put a new spin.
I remember that.
And that would definitely make more people watch.
People were upset.
Oh, what's the crazy guy going to do today? Is he going to just add another 2 teams because he doesn't care? Okay. I think that'd be sick.
So, Battle 16.
16.
Veto.
You mean Battle 13?
13.
Jeez, man.
Veto. Morgan Moses.
Now, this next one I think is a little spicier than that one even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bull, we got Danny Shelton versus Trent Brown. I want to know what you think about it.
Okay, I hate to say it because Danny Shelton is a big nasty, but Trent Brown is 380 pounds. If you're that close to 400, you should be able to walk away at least one round, as a big nasty. There's no doubt. I mean, but
Jake,
Danny
I want
Shelton
your
is
thoughts.
345 at 6'2". That's the thing. No, it's got to be Trent Brown. It's 380.
Yeah.
Jake, I want your thoughts.
Yeah, Trent Brown is the statistically biggest hoss of the full bracket. And I agree with Bull. Like, if you can't make it past the first round, like,
Yeah, Austin, I want your thoughts, and then I want the numbers.
I mean, I'm a big Trent Brown guy. I've heard rumors that he has dipped over 400 pounds at some points.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
He's just a mountain of a man, so I'm all in on Trent Brown.
What are the numbers, though?
Numbers, Brown is winning. He's 74% to 20.
So I don't think there was any debate to that one. I'm totally for
Well-
Trent Brown.
Well,
Did you-
I was talking about on Instagram. It's different than this one. I was talking about the Trent Williams Tyron Smith matchup.
Oh,
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, so
the
real quick,
last one wasn't posted to the end.
Trent Brown going through.
I couldn't imagine the balancing act that the flight crew would have to do in order to get that man on a flight. Well,
2 seats. That's how.
Yeah, they got to put
Dude,
3 guys
like
on the other
3 or 4.
aisle.
Have you
Yeah.
ever watched My 600-Pound Life? They have to get 2 seats.
I live my 600-pound life on a reg, dog. I don't even watch it on TV.
So this is a real tough one. One of our Steelers correspondents, Richard Haynes, actually pointed out the fact that putting these two guys up against each other in the first round probably wasn't a good choice because it's a good matchup.
I did a random order. This was non-biased at all. I will put that disclaimer out there.
Yeah, so there you go.
Completely.
So Bull, being our big nasty expert, Trent Williams and Tyron Smith, what do you think? And when you're done, I want to hear the numbers.
Okay, so remember what I said earlier about, in the Carolinas, you're going to sweat more than if you're in Florida? Well, D.C. is above that line.
Trent Williams plays in San Francisco.
Oh, does he play in San Francisco now?
They just got traded during the draft.
Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he? Huh.
That
Yeah.
LA sweat, it's
You know
different.
what?
Once you
Yeah.
get
I'm gonna-
middle country sweat. it's
Yeah, no, okay,
different
so
San Francisco
here's
sweat.
I think I'm going to pick Trent Williams because if he's going to be on a flight, and this is kind of my barometer of what I've been using for everybody, if you're sitting in an airplane, which one would you want to sit next to least? I think Trent Williams, because most of the people going to or from are going to be a completely different body type than him, and they're going to look at him as a disgusting person.
Okay.
But Tyron Smith is going, to Texas, so they're just going to think he's some boy that rustles cattle all day. They're
Yeah.
going to be home with his hoss.
This one I'm pretty passionate about, and I'm a big Trent Williams guy. You know, he's got the nickname the Silverback, and he's got a giant chain with a black diamond silverback gorilla. Also, he's just a fat and strong hoss, and he's the most intimidating guy in the trenches, in my opinion. He's got the black visor, he's got the tattoos. Tyron Smith has abs, and he's jacked.
That's true.
He's not really, like a big fat nasty.
That's very
So
true.
I think the best way to put this one may be that Tyron Smith is big and he's nasty, but he's not a big nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jake,
that's really
do you
good.
have any input on this one? Because it is they're even stats.
Yeah, they're from our sources, our research cronies. They're exactly the same stats. So with this one, it took me a little while, and Tyron Smith looks obviously mean, and because it's the cowboy collar, adds to it. But I feel like he's too plain Jane, middle of the road, serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just get in, get out, get clean. And I
So-
think Trent Williams looks like he's getting nasty. You can get video of him being nasty.
So what are the numbers on this one?
This one, Tyrone Smith is winning 59% to 41.
Really?
Yeah.
So after all of that deliberation that I just heard, I think
Uh,
this might have to be our second veto.
We might have to
Hey.
veto this one.
hey, Jake.
Because, and first and foremost, Bull, we never, ever, ever once said, like, hey, whoever gets the highest vote goes through. I said, who do you think is the bigger nasty? So,
This sounds like a really good commish kind of conversation you're having right now.
yeah. And we already, yeah. So, are we all in agreement that Trent Williams should go
Yeah,
through?
definitely go for it. Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
Anytime Hunter goes to pull a shadow government move, can you have like some kind of little music pickup or something? Because I feel like that should
Some
be
suspense.
yeah.
I looked through the suspense music today.
Just
Sick.
use some, like, insidious violins or something.
Yeah, I might have to make my own. Get back in the studio.
All right.
That'd be sick.
So, Trent Williams,
16.
veto number 2.
Sick.
16, our second to last matchup, Quinton Spain from the Bills versus Jordan Phillips on the Cardinals.
Okay. I'll go first on this because I have no idea who Quinton Spain is. But just looking at these two pictures, Jordan Phillips looks like a man with normal emotions, a normal range of emotions. Quinton Spain, at least in that picture, looks like he's always uncomfortable 100% of the time, no matter what he's doing. So I'm going to go with Quinton
That's
Spain.
accurate.
Okay. Jake or Austin, anything on this one?
I mean, this one was real tough for me because as a Bills fan, last year we had Jordan Phillips, but now he's on the Cardinals, and we got Quinton Spain, so I like them both. But I picked Quinton Spain. I just think, he's 2 inches shorter and he's 6 pounds heavier. And when you see Quinton Spain, he's kind of built like Bull, where his legs aren't that big, but he's got just a massive upper body.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he's actually like one of the best pass blockers in the league just because he leans his heavy mass on people. They can't bull rush
I bet he has great footwork.
him. He has solid footwork.
Maybe. Jake, what's your input on this one?
Yeah, so along the same line as what Austin was saying, and maybe this is because I've just lived with a hoss my whole life, but there's something that when you have a big belly and that's where most of your weight is, you get this thing where half of the numbers on the jersey shows because of how much it gets bunched up. It's a minuscule thing, but a trained eye can see it. So when you see half the numbers are gone, you know that there is fabric wedged in between your titties and belly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's like wearing 4 jerseys in your fold because it's folded up so much. So that has to be just a cesspool of just nastiness.
Jake, that might be the most compelling argument I've heard so far. We might have to veto Quinton Spain through.
Well, what are the numbers?
Jordan
Really?
Phillips is up big time, dude. 80%
What?
to 20%.
See, so this is another I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but this is another example, I guess, of people I don't think – maybe it's my fault. I'll take the blame on this one. Maybe I didn't explain what a big nasty is enough. But I think this is another one where people looked at the height and they said, oh, Jordan Phillips is taller. We're going to give it to him.
People are taking poops and they're just voting on Instagram polls. They're not really they're not really thinking these things through.
They're probably
So-
doing it like mid Jack Sesh, just like clicking through store, like, oh, sure, we'll click through.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
even pay
Quinton
attention.
Spain's the bigger nasty, and I'd be fine pushing him through.
Yeah.
I hope your fans that are upset with you doing this really let you know in the comments section.
I hope they do
I hope
too.
so,
I hope they
too.
like, comment, and subscribe, and we can
Yeah.
have lively debates with them. And we'll be happy to see them back next week.
We're all about the interactions.
Veto number 3. I thought there were only going to be 3, but I kind of have a feeling there might be 4 because this one coming up.
I probably have the opposite thing of you guys. And
because you're a Steelers fan. But this matchup is DJ Fluker versus David DeCastro. First of all, not even for the reasons why I am so passionate about this. They're the same height, and DJ Fluker is 24 more pounds or 34 more pounds.
30,
It's
No.
24.
No, 24. Yeah. I'm not. I did bad on the math SATs.
You took a bath in
I
math.
took a bath. See, when I'm doing math, I'm thinking about taking baths. It's bad. But yeah, so Bull, let me know your take on this one. And do me a favor.
Mhm.
Try and pretend you're not a Steelers fan.
Okay, so I'm going to have to – okay. So you're going to learn a little bit of an emotional side of being a big nasty. You have to be a bad person, or at least come off as you are a bad person without somebody talking to you, just by your actions, right? DJ Fluker has not done anything to do that, but David DeCastro has done something to prove the opposite. When he took down Myles Garrett to the ground, he might have saved that man's life.
As shown.
Yeah, Marquise Pouncey was ready to go to jail for his quarterback. And that act of kindness right
Which
there.
is weird because his quarterback's a racist.
I feel like both of them are bad people. I do definitely think that Mason Rudolph is a bum. But I also think you shouldn't probably hit a man with his helmet.
Well, that was
Unless they deserve
after
it.
the racial slur was dropped.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but you still shouldn't do that.
No,
And
for
In
sure.
2019, though?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying Mason Rudolph is in the right. I definitely think Mason Rudolph should have got his ass beat. But
Okay.
okay, so I did comment on your last video. You guys had it wrong. It wasn't Mason bad, Miles bad, Miles good. It was Mason bad, Miles bad, Marquise good.
I don't know, man. I think we're just a pro
Wait,
Myles
said
Garrett,
Marquise
anti-Mason Rudolph show.
Pouncey's good.
Yeah, because that's a big hawk that defended his quarterback. No matter if his quarterback.
He also defends Aaron Hernandez.
He defends Aaron Hernandez, and he defended Richie Incognito when he bullied Jonathan Taylor out of the league with racial slurs.
He
So
probably
not only does he support Mason Rudolph with racial slurs, he
first of all,
supports Richie Incognito.
Yeah. Hey, Marquise Pouncey is a ride or die kind of guy. That's the kind of guy I'd like to line up next to because I know he has my back. No matter what happens, he has my back and I have his.
He probably supported Big Ben when he pulled his penis out in the back of that Buffalo Wild Wings through the fly of his zipper, too.
Listen, everybody makes mistakes. Buffalo Wild Wings is a wild place. Sometimes things get out of hand, all right? I
want to know, did he wash his hands or did he have sauce?
I would like
probably saucy.
I would like to add one more thing to this comparison. David DeCastro is a Stanford Cardinal.
That's true.
And he went to an Ivy League school.
It's very true.
DJ Fluker was genetically grown in the Alabama Hoss factory and is well known to be one of their nastiest hosses in recent memory.
Their OSHA standards are not up to par all the time down there in Bama.
See, I will also add the fact that living in Baltimore, you gotta be nasty. Like, watch The Wire.
DJ Fluker's lived a lot of places because he's not that good.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
So you guys agree with me? It is DJ Fluker. Okay, I thought you guys were going to say David DeCastro.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say David DeCastro.
Me too.
No, I don't. Like David.
And I think he's the better football player, and he's definitely nasty in the trenches. But I think
so. We all agree on this one.
I am so relieved. Well, I don't think the fans agree.
Well, no, Hunter,
What?
You'd be surprised because the voting looks like it took a turn, and it is currently tied at 50-50.
Easy peasy, DJ Fluker, you're going through, buddy. You made it. We didn't even have to go to the fourth veto.
So, yeah, we got to use our 3 vetoes, and we used them wisely, I think.
So I just want to put out there the reason why I'm so passionate about this one, and we have a lot of Steelers correspondents watching. I thought David Castro was going to take it in like a landslide, but DJ Fluker, look at any picture that we're going to put up of this guy. This guy is the embodiment of what I think of when I think of a big nasty. Just look at this guy. He is I'm not going to say he's the biggest nasty because we don't know yet, but he's prototype big nasty.
He's definitely the type of guy you're looking for when you're building a nasty line.
Yeah, first team all nasty.